am going to talk about a few key points that I hope can help you in your journey. This would be about taking risks. Another one would be about adaptability, networking, being practical in your work, and also most importantly, I think, is being able to handle rejection. So I would recommend, as a student, figure out how you can adapt that editorial side of you to other applications or even other areas in post-production work, because it will come handy. I would look at it almost like a tool, like a construction worker has a tool belt. You put different tools in your tool belt, right? Like, hey, I have Photoshop tool. Hey, I have this After Effects tool. Super important. It will open up many doors. You do not understand how many places I've been where other workers in the building don't understand certain softwares and they get cut short because of that. The only reason why I was able to get into the commercial industry and working as an assistant editor is because I used multiple applications. And it started right here at East Carolina. I started on a linear deck, which I'm sure you guys have no idea what that looks like. It was a true insert edit. So I was able to, evolve from linear editing to non-linear editing and transcend multiple applications. So that adaptability is 100% key. Relationships, I think I was saying this earlier, are as important as talent. People want to collaborate with those they can trust. When I first graduated, I moved out to LA. I worked at UCLA, and my supervisor at the time asked me if I would help the St. Louis Rams out when they came out to California shooting or helping with ACing. And it opened me up to a whole different network that I'd never been tapped into. I was working with NFL films when they would come out, okay? And it was because I knew someone in my network who gave me this opportunity. But more importantly, it was someone who trusted in the work that I could do. They believed in my work and they understood that if they recommended me, then I would go and take care of it. But it was someone within my network, okay? And I want you to know, that was in 2004. And guess what? I'm still working that job part-time today. It's over 20 years. You have to be able to do what you can say you can do. Like, hey, do I want to make a cool feature film that's shot in New York with all these high-rise buildings and all this production value? 100%. But I have to be honest with myself with what I can do, okay? Now, this movie that I'm here screening for ECU, Shaping the Future, is a feature documentary focusing on Lance Collins and the impact he had on Southern California surf culture. I was able to do this because it was very practical for me and my partner to achieve this. I recognized that, number one, I could get this story easily by myself. I didn't need a camera crew to do it. I needed myself. I owned all the camera gear. So first of all, the production standpoint was very practical for me to handle. Okay, the second part was that my talent, there was no roadblocks to my talent. I had a direct line to him. I could call him. I could show up at his house anytime. He was wide open. Again, very practical for me to achieve this. The third thing, which I think is probably one of the most important parts about making any feature documentary or any documentary production, is just that his archive material that I may have would have had to license, he owned it. I didn't have to pay for any archive material. Very little. I spent maybe under $5,000 with the archive material that I needed to license. That's huge. As an early creative, I will say, I was very sensitive to people telling me that my work wasn't good enough at some point. Or like, hey, that edit just literally didn't cut it. I would hurt. You work a long time in the edit room, or you prep a long time in your camera setup, or your interview questions, and it just doesn't work sometimes. Guess what? That's totally fine. It's totally fine. You're gonna be able to learn from those moments and understand what you can do better the next time. It's not even doing better, it's just shaping and evolving your project. But it lets you hear what other people have to say, like what they're thinking. It also challenges you creatively. So these rejections are moments that you learn from, you kind of pull out what other people are talking about, and try to craft your skill set a little different. I think it's super important.